Abuja. Those were the headlines, and now details. I am Frama Pani. Putting Allah first and trusting in His choice for mankind is part of faith expected of Muslims in everyday life. A visiting Imam, Dr. Jabir Sani Mehula, gave this reminder to worshippers in his sermon at the Zone 7 Jumat Mosque, Abuja. Abdullahi Hajia reports.
As people of faith who believe in Allah's might and power, the visiting Imam, Dr. Jabir Sani Mehula, in his spiritual guidance to the congregation says, reliance upon Allah in all endeavors is key to a successful life.
We shall rely on Allah with our heart. We shall do whatever possible to get what we want, but as long as we are doing that, we shall also pray to Allah. He knows what is the best for us. That we shall do whatever possible to campaign for the individual candidate that we think are the best, but then we shall rely on Allah. We shall pray unto Him to choose the best candidate for us. The issues that are bedeviling in this country of insecurity, of economic crisis, we shall also rely to Allah or pray unto Him to find a way out.
The cleric's admonition came on the heels of the commencements of electioneering campaigns to elect new leaders at different levels. This worshippers say is apt.
This khutbah is a timely khutbah, especially in this political era.
Sabab, which is a means to getting anything one wants, is very important.
A special dua invoking Allah's benevolent mercy upon leaders and followers was offered, including a request for quick intervention on socio-economic challenges. In Abuja, Abdullahi Hajia, NTA News.
The Senate Committee on Federal Capital Territory is proposing the payment of property tax on buildings that have been completed but not occupied in the FCT. Chairman of the committee, Senator Smart Adeyemi, at an inaugural meeting of the members of the committee, made it clear that uninhabited houses and estates are littered in and around the Federal Capital Territory without generating revenue for the FCT.
Why these houses have not been occupied?
Chairman of the committee, Senator Smart Adeyemi, at an inaugural meeting of members of the committee, made it clear that uninhabited houses and estates are littered in and around the Federal Capital Territory without generating revenue for the FCT.
We are going to work towards property tax to take from the rich to be able to save the poor. So if people have built houses and nobody is occupying them, we'll find out why these houses have not been occupied. I will call the attention of government to lock them up so that criminals do not take charge. What we're going to do is to put in place measures that will compel them to start paying taxes.
Senator Smart Adeyemi was appointed new chairman of the Senate Committee on FCT on the 20th of September 2022.
Now, Nigerian youth have been charged to lead in the promotion of entrenching peace and harmony in the society. This is the fallout of delegates conference by the National Youth Council of Nigeria, FCT, in Gwagwalada. Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
This is a gathering of delegates from the 6 area councils of the FCT. They are here to elect new crop of leaders that will steer the ship of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, FCT chapter, in the next 4 years. Stakeholders believe that Nigerian youths are critical partners and veritable tools in the quest for entrenching peaceful society.
We have neglects in some of the area councils. Some part of FCT, when you visit them, you never believe they are part and parcel of the Federal Capital Territory. So these are some of the issues we are going to put in play and to ensure that we have an integral participation of the youth in government.
Making use of the creative energies of FCT youth, one, to complement the security agencies in the fight against insecurity.
They should put more effort. They should operate government of inclusiveness and open door policy so that every youth will have his problem tabled to them and they can now mediate between them and the government.
The Department of Youth Development provided all the necessary funding and the environment for this Congress to hold today.
The National Youth Council of Nigeria is the umbrella body for all the youth associations in the country. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
key achievements of President Muhammadu Buhari were highlighted in a book which has been officially presented to the public by Global Youth Awareness and Development Initiative, GYADI, a non-governmental organization. Hakimat Aliyu brings us details.
This is the unveiling of the book titled Key Sector Achievement of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, and its prospects for accelerated youth empowerment in Nigeria. The 323-page book, infused with detailed picture stories, is written by Prince Ebai, President, Global Youth Awareness and Development Initiative.
What inspired me is that the Mr. President's achievement, President Muhammadu Buhari, is not adequately publicized, such as the economy, security. There are too many anti-corruption. There are too many of them to be mentioned. Information and communications technology, health, transportation sector, and all whatnot. In fact, he has done preciously well.
The book reviewer, Osita Okechukwu, Director General, Voice of Nigeria, described it as one which can serve as an encouragement for the Nigerian youth.
Take your time to go through this book. It will reassure you as a Nigerian youth that no matter how difficult the situation you find yourself, that this book has told us that President Muhammadu Buhari did not just become president in a day, that he grew up in an agrarian community in Daura.
Written in honor of the president to promote his good works under the current administration, the book is recommended to be read by all and sundry, with emphasis on the younger generation. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
Now to judicial matters. Professor Zainab Kasuba Duke, who allegedly assaulted and brutalized the woman police, has been remanded at the Suleja Correctional Center. This followed her arraignment before an Abuja magistrate court. Miriam Emeka Amadi completes the story.
On Tuesday, 20th September 2022, the internet was awash with the story of Professor Zainab Kasuba Duke, who allegedly assaulted her police orderly, Inspector Teju Moses, in company of some accomplices at her residence in Gariki, Abuja, due to the refusal of the orderly to breach professional ethics by carrying out domestic chores at her residence. Zainab, the first accused, was arraigned in Chief Magistrate Court together with the second defendant, Rebecca Enenchedu, on a 4-count charge of criminal conspiracy, among others. The Chief Magistrate, Elizabeth Woni, read the first information report before the defendant, which they all denied as false.
My appearance in the court was for the Commissioner of Police, who is the complainant in this case. What's transpiring in the court today is just an arraignment. The defendant was arraigned on the first information report, and his plea was taken. And all of them denied liability, and the case is further adjourned for trial.
The defending counsel's prayer to the court to grant the two defendants bail was denied by the Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Woni, who cited Section 227 of the Penal Code, which provides that the case is not bailable.
The judge considered the circumstances of the case and decided one way or the other. She decided on her discretion. It's within her powers to do so. My expectations are that justice will be served. My client is innocent.
The case was adjourned to the 5th of October 2022. Meanwhile, the defendant, Professor Zainab and Rebecca, have been remanded in Suleja Correctional Prison. Miriam Emeka Amadi, NTA News.
The Minister of Communications and Digital Economy has announced the appointment of Bulus Samuela Yakubu as acting Postmaster General of the Federation and Chief Executive Officer, NIPOST, following the suspension of Dr. Ismail Adebayo Adewusi. A statement by the Director Corporate Affairs, NIPOST, notes that Bulus Samuela Yakubu, who is from Taraba State, joined NIPOST service in 1990. Until his appointment, he was the Secretary to NIPOST Governing Board, Director of Special Duties, and NIPOST Liaison Officer to the National Assembly. Now, International Day of Sign Language is a unique opportunity to support and protect the linguistic identity and cultural diversity of all deaf people and other sign language users. To this end, our correspondent explores the prospect of this form of communication to a global audience in need.
Sign language is the primary mode of communication used by the deaf and dumb. Internationally, according to the World Federation of the Deaf, there are more than 70 million deaf people worldwide. Many of these people are dependent on sign language as their means of interacting with others. For many people who are born deaf, sign language is their first language, and it is important for them to be able to effectively communicate with not only family members, but in the wider society.
Give a clear way, a clear spelling of communication and understanding, because education is for all and is the responsibility of all. So we should carry them along, because there should be no stigmatization, no left behind. All these things, you can put them together to make a sentence. I am going home.
A member of the Association of the Deaf suggests that sign language can be included in the curriculum to make communication with the deaf and dumb people easy, to allow the sharing of information and access to services. The UN has proclaimed every September 23rd as the International Day of Sign Language to raise awareness on the importance of sign language, seen as the deaf community has so much to offer to the society. In Abuja, from
Now, our correspondent explores the beverage, alcohol, and if it's harmful or not. Let's take a look at that report.
Research by World Health Organization has shown that worldwide, 3 million deaths every year emanate from the harmful use of alcohol. This represents 5.3% of all deaths. Overall, 5.1% of the global burden of diseases and injury is attributable to alcohol as measured in disability-adjusted life years. Alcohol consumption causes death and disability relatively early in life. Regardless of the health implications and scriptural warning against drinking of alcohol, some Nigerians still indulge in the act. The fundamental question is, what informs that decision?
After the day's hustle and bustle, I sit down and relax to take 1 or 2 bottles.
Some people say they drink so that they can overcome issues of life, maybe stress, maybe family issues.
Medical experts say drinking of alcohol can potentially lead to unwanted health consequences, adding that people who drink heavily may notice more health effects sooner.
Withdrawal syndrome to the patient, alcohol dependency, and then other worsening of other chronic illnesses like hypertension, diabetes, and also, most importantly, causing other chronic illnesses like chronic liver disease.
Clerics in the FCT have warned against the intake of alcohol.
When you monitor the ministry of Jesus on earth, he never took any alcohol. And by that reason, every true child of God is not supposed to live with alcohol.
It's a devil work. Fashionable, stop it, because it can easily create enmity and fighting between people, and one can act out of his senses.
Past guidelines by the Center for Disease Control and Prevention around alcohol generally suggest that alcohol possesses little effect on health and might even offer few health benefits. However, research shows that there is no safe amount of drinking, since moderate drinking affects the brain negatively. In Abuja, Francisca Bile, NTA News.
Francisca Bile there with that report on alcohol. Now, prominent national figures, including top government functionaries, key political actors, traditional rulers, and captains of industries have continued to condole with the FCT Minister of State, Ramatu Tijani Aliyu, following the demise of her mother. Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
Vice President Yemi Osibanjo, his wife, Olu Dolapo Osibanjo, National Chairman of the ruling All Progressives Congress, APC, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, Minister for Special Duties, Senator George Akume, Senator Philip Aduda, Chairman NDLEA, General Buba Marwan, General Abdulrahman Bello are among Nigerians who have visited the bereaved minister. The Vice President, in his condolence, said the contributions of the late Hajia Zainab Sidi Ali in the lives of so many, especially the less privileged, will remain indelible.
Of this Federal Capital Territory. All we can say is that it is God who gives life, He's the one who takes it. None of us has any control over when we come or when we go. But all that we are left with is the memories of the good things and especially the contributions to the lives of others that the departed have made. And we're very confident that in the case of our dear mother, she made very significant contributions to the life of...
Earlier, the 16 graded chiefs in the FCT also paid condolences to the bereaved family. Ifani Isumba, NT News.
Experience the wonder of the FIFA World Cup in Qatar with Coca-Cola. Buy any Coca-Cola product with a white cap. Check the code under the cap and dial *8014 *1 code hash to participate for free. Terms and conditions apply.
So you gotta have a smile, no matter what it takes. Gotta take pure bliss now. They love the way it tastes. Feel the pure bliss blow from the toes to your face. Gotta take pure bliss now. Feel the bliss today. Say oh.
Light up your day anywhere, even at home, with the rich, creamy taste of pure bliss.
Looking fresh for your date? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day confidence to get close. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
For Sports Brief, let's join Gideon Johanna.
Cricket. Prior to the 2023 Cricket World Cup Africa Division 2 qualifier, Nigeria's Group B opening, Rwanda have released the final list of players for the tournament to begin September 30th to October 8th in Abuja, Nigeria. The last qualifying round in 2022 will bring together 8 countries to include Nigeria, Botswana, Ghana, Kenya, Malawi, Mozambique, Rwanda, and Sierra Leone. Rwanda will play its first opening game against Nigeria on Saturday, the 1st October. And 8 teams will fight it out to decide who becomes the Nationwide League One NLO champion come 3rd to 8th October 2022, the Secretariat of the nation's third-tier domestic league announced. Smart City FC and Madiba FC of Lagos State, Melan Turkey FC of Abuja, amongst others, will compete for the first spot to determine the overall winner of the NLO 2022 season, as the National Stadium in Surulere hosts the 6-day event with 20 players and 5 officials from each team to compete. With Sports Brief, Gideon Johanna, NTA News.
Sports Brief ends the English segment of the news tonight. Time to hand over to our translators. Thanks for watching and have a good night.
Abaje shaje wana iwana bashi baba dai wu presiso ayuba wani wagwana baje gai azashi bahayi in shakwai yi abi ngaci ay gawo ay vi inge shakwai bagbatu jimbanu in aye inge salashi wai shi in sa sahay vi adudu babye genu in salak ngabi in wa bebe ngabi inge Dr. Jabil Sani mai hula bai ce inge aza bapa sanu in wa bai gin inge salabusi wuse sapa wutna ba in juma ya salashi ba inke su ne Abdullahi Ajiya wadai inge gaciya ga in shakwai nu shi ngabi zazahe abegiya wagodo inge yigolo bade pia ifi saye pia yiji ya she inge kulia ya ki azana gban pe na se peye ikiye be ku shoko yigiwe na bai wo ba godo wa che iwa fi ikiye gbadagun inge a senator galuko okizide nya bala pata labwashi ba pe inge agadu na anyakun bege mba me ashilo ntna azafi mba me ikizide shekpaje da gbadagun nya inge senator smart ademi nbe da be ko lonu sanu wo be ga bagbatu gbadagun nya kwaya tunjin wagodo nge apua bege mwa ya shiro ntna aza fi mba bede tada gwamnati lo ban shi ban tabwa nge kizina nyabwa lo ntu na be pyabo gwamnati aga baba ya nge pua agadu gbanu na bai anyakun abegeda ba abwa nyabwa be nge nkizide kwa be na pigi bejege nge bakpaje nge Professor Zainab Kasuba Duk abuse bida ku wofi anwu ntuge wo bewu nge abuse bida nyikoza nge Inspector Teju Moses ayin ogbeje wa jiwa bo fiakun buse bida la lo ngaluko nge magistrate wuse sapa ogutna nkizi naye nge Maria Emeka Amadi wadai nge wada nge Elizabeth Woni wada nge kiye bagbatu wada nya kpeke taji wan bache tu shi bache taba nkuwa nge Professor ye ntuge busi bida go wabwa tu uwo tutunu tige api atutun azain to go wasugu na busi bida na uwa ajekpe tutishiyan azain to go agna nge wamu apun to salasi bede ko lefi galuko latnu we injalu nlo soleja ama gbaje ibeje adowo nko na ishokwasi enwe fina gbada paga shokwo ni jisu saisu
n'akụkọ ụwa nke taa aha m bụ Rachel Ifi Olo gere akụkọ ụwa n'uju ya itinye ala n'ihu ma tụkwasị echiche obi bụ ụdị okwukwe a na-atụ anya ya n'ebe ndị okpukperechi Islam nọ kwa ụbọchị. Abdullahi Ajiya mgbe o sonyere na ekpere Jumat nke taa wetara akụkọ na onye imam ha Dọkịta Jabil Sani Manhula chetara ndị na-eso ụzọ ndị ọzọ nke a site n'okwu Chukwu ya n'ụlọ okpukperechi ha dị na Zone 7. Ọ gakwara n'ihu kwuo na ya bụ okwu ndụmọdụ bịara mgbe ha na-amalite ịhọpụta ndị isi ọhụrụ na ngalaba niile. Ha kpekọkwara ekpere ọnụ ma rịọ Allah ka o nwee obi ebere n'ebe ndị na-eso ụzọ ya nakwa ndị isi ha nọ. Ndị omebe iwu n'isi ala anyị ekwuola na a ga-akwụ ụtụ n'ụlọ ndị ewuchara na-enweghị onye bi na ya n'isi ala anyị. Debra Gazaji Maika wetara akụkọ na onye isi na kọmitii ndị omebe iwu Smart Adeyemi kwupụtara nke a mgbe ha were nnọkọ n'isi ala anyị. Ọ gakwara n'ihu kwuo na ahọpụtara ya bụ nwa amadi ịbụ onye isi oche na ya bụ kọmitii n'abalị 20 nke ọnwa itoolu n'afọ 2022 mgbe ha mere nhọgharị n'etiti onwe ha. Aka ndị uwe ojii akparala ọkammụta Zainab Kasuba Duk n'ihi mmegbu o megburu onye uwe ojii na-echekwebe ya Inspector Teju Moses Mariam Emeka Amadi wetara akụkọ na ọtụtụ ndị agbata obi ya soro ya tie ya bụ onye uwe ojii ihe n'ihi na ọ jụrụ ime ihe na-abụghị ọrụ ya. Ọ kwekwara nghọta na ọ kpụpụrụ ya bụ ọkammụta na onye otu ya bụ ene nchedo Rebecca n'ụlọ ikpe ma daa ha iwu 4. Onye ọkaikpe ukwu Elizabeth Woni gụpụtakwara ebubo niile eboro ya bụ ọkammụta Zainab n'elu ya. Igbo bụ Igbo, ọgwụla ka ọha n'ọnụ. Ndewo.
Kalẹ̀ o ẹ̀sìnkú dédé wòyí ìròyìn iléeṣẹ́ amóhùnmáwòrán ìkànnì karùn-ún tìlú Àbújá ló ń di sí tí gbọ́yìn látẹnu Bọ́lájí Mátì. Ká fi Ọlọ́run ọba ṣáájú ohun gbogbo pẹ̀lú ìrètí nínú àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ fún ọmọ ẹ̀dá Ádámọ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára ìwà tí mùsùlùmí òdodo láti jẹ́ kí ó hàn nínú ìgbé ayé rẹ̀. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Abúlé Àjíà ròyìn wípé àlejò pàtàkì ní mọ́ṣáláṣí Jímọ̀ ẹ̀ka keje l'Àbújá lèmọ́mù dókítà Jabri Sani Maihula ló fi ọ̀rọ̀ náà rán àwọn olùjọ́sìn létí nínú wàásù Jímọ̀ tòní. Àdúrà pàtàkì wáyé fún àlàáfíà, ìṣọ̀kan àti ìlọsíwájú orílẹ̀-èdè àti ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè lápapọ̀. Àjọ ilé-ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà tó ń rí sí ọ̀rọ̀ olú ìlú orílẹ̀-èdè Àbújá ń gbèrò wípé àwọn ilé tí àwọn ènìyàn kọ́ parí tí kò sí ẹnikẹ́ni tó ń gbé àwọn ilé ọ̀hún yóò máa san owó orí àwọn ilé náà ní ìlú Àbújá. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Deborah Maika ròyìn wípé alága ìgbìmọ̀ ọ̀hún ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ ilé-ìgbìmọ̀ aṣòfin àgbà Smart Adéyẹmí níbi ìpàdé ìfilọ́lẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ wípé àwọn ilé àti ọgbà àjọgbé ọ̀hún wọ́n wọ́pọ̀ púpọ̀ ní ìlú Àbújá láìsí ẹnikẹ́ni tó ń gbé nínú wọn, èyí tí kò ṣe àǹfààní fún ìlú Àbújá. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Zainab Kasuba Duke tí ọlọ́pàá mú tí wọ́n sì dá dúró látàrí wípé ó bú ọlọ́pàábìnrin Tẹ́jú Moses tó jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ fún ó pa àṣẹ fún àwọn ènìyàn wípé kí wọ́n lu ọlọ́pàá ọ̀hún, wọ́n sì lù ú nílùkulù torí pé ó kọ̀ láti ṣe iṣẹ́ tí kò bá iṣẹ́ tí ọgbà ọlọ́pàá yàn fún láti ṣe fún ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Zainab ní ilé rẹ̀ tó wà ní Gàrèkì ní 20 oṣù tí a wà yìí. Alákòjọpọ̀ ìròyìn Mariam Emeka Amadi ròyìn wípé ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Zainab ti fojú ba ilé ẹjọ́ ní Wuse ẹ̀ka kẹfà. Adájọ́ ilé ẹjọ́ náà Zainab ní lẹ́yìn tí wọ́n ka ẹ̀sùn fún àwọn ọ̀daràn náà, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Zainab àti Rebecca Enechedu wọ́n sọ wípé irọ́ pátá ni ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún. Adájọ́ náà sún ìgbẹ́jọ́ sí ọjọ́ 5 oṣù tó ń bọ̀ ní kí àwọn méjèèjì sì wà ní ìpamọ́ ní túbú tó ń bẹ ní Suleja. tó a ò rí jù báyìí lọ́sẹ̀ títí ọ̀sẹ̀ tó ń bọ̀ ní àṣẹ tèdùmàrè. Ojúmọ́ ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.